Play, you bastard.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to Wrestle Rock with Rick Connor.
What the F was that entire freaking promo about?
Mark Callbacher.
She's like the James Ellsworth of women.
And Corey Castle.
I look like Paul London and Brian Kendrick mixed.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Remember we have a show? We have a contest.
Remember
when we did that? That was fun. We should do that again. Let's totally do that. I'm totally down for it.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Wrestle Rock, folks. I'm still dressed from work. It's all sucky. I'm all sweaty and gross. July sucks.
I decided to stay in the house all day. I went to the gym, and then I'd have been like basically deep cleaning the house instead of even stepping outside. We got hail earlier. The city got hail.
Really? I didn't even get any hail. I got a bunch of rain, but that was welcome after the 97-degree weather or something we had this morning. Jesus Christ!
For anybody who knows, Philly rarely gets hail, so it was actually kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty cool today because today's the Great American Bash. Hooray! Yeah! NXT has once again brought back the Great American Bash. Mark has it on there in the background. You're not going to be able to hear it or anything like that, but we're just going to keep you updated as we're going. It's today, July 6th. This podcast isn't going up until tomorrow, so by the time you all hear this or see this video, it's all going to be old news.
The results will have been in.
I'm sorry.
We can't do anything about it.
I dropped my phone off the fire escape 3 stories up and had to get a new phone. And I went back to Android, forgetting when you don't turn off the iMessage, some of your text messages just magically disappear in the ether. You never see it. So I didn't even know you guys scheduled the podcast for yesterday. Dude, I was on a date when Rick just sent the email. I'm like, oh, we're supposed to be doing a show now.
That was weird. The messages were all going through. I could see him. Corey could see him. You're like, you guys doing this without me? What the hell?
It's perfect that like my whole family switched to iPhone and like there's perfect iChats happening everywhere that you then jump off and it was like perfect and now it ain't.
I went back to Google.
Google phone.
Basically Google's iPhone. It's basically their version of the iPhone.
It's better. Is it better? I don't know. I got myself an iPhone 12.
I just had to make the douchey phone nerd face. Like I have an iPhone. It's so much better.
Yeah. So much better.
I have a $1,300 phone. I'm better than you.
Excuse me, I just have never ever. Ugh.
It's like that South Park bit when the one guy gets a hybrid and he's walking around like he's smelling his own farts.
Yeah, the what is he calling it? The smug or something?
Yeah, he's all smug. Yeah,
the wine sifter.
Hey, see, you got a hybrid there. Thanks. Yeah. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about wrestling, shall we? Since we're already talking about the Great American Bash, there's a face-to-face with Karrion Kross and Johnny Gargano. A match I'm looking forward to is Isaiah Swerve Scott. Actually, no, he's not in a match. I'm sorry. They're doing like some big kind of championship celebration with Hit Row. I didn't even know he was part of Hit Row. That's how out of the loop I am.
I've been, because NXT is one of the only shows I actually get to see. Hit Row is one of the coolest things going on in all of WWE right now.
It's like an answer to the too many factions question. Like you're like, oh, okay, never mind. Like in all of wrestling, there's too many factions, and then they start to Hit Row, and you're like, never mind. Nah, factions are okay.
No, they have a really cool vibe to them. I mean, they got that former football players, or Muscle. They have this female. I'm sorry, all her names slipped because I just call them Hit Row. It's Swerve and Hit Row. That's all I know. I'm actually a huge fan of Swerve, and it's one of the guys he was feuding with, the cruiserweight they have with him. It was really, really good. And then, like I said, they got a female member of the group who's
It's like a Grammy Award nominee or something.
oh, she's hot.
She's got like she's like a recording artist, like for real, and has like music that people like.
I have no idea.
This
is the first I'm hearing of any of this.
It's kind of like a hip version of Hurt Business, but they're more tied into like hip hop and R&B because they do a lot of their shoot interviews from like a recording studio. So it's kind of cool how they do it. I like I said, man, I think this is great for Swerve. He's one of the dudes. He's had it all, and I don't understand why they haven't pulled the trigger with him yet. So I'm hoping this is like big things for him with this group.
Yeah, definitely. His match with Bronson Reed just this past Wednesday. Was it Bronson Reed?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Bronson Reed.
That
I almost said Killian Dane.
That 450 splash on Bronson Reed while he was like hanging over the rope.
God.
Woo!
Dear God. Sweet mama. That was really that was pretty amazing. It was a pretty amazing match. We have a new North American champion out of it. I'd say Swerve Scott finally getting that gold.
So that's Bronson Reed's like going to the main roster, that's like the main thoughts that he's just automatically going up to the main roster.
He's going to feud with Elias for about 4 months, and then you'll never see him again.
Yeah, I mean, the main roster push is not something that we want for any of these people anymore. Like, it used to be like, oh, cool, they're bringing Finn Balor up, finally, awesome. And then it was like, wow, he's just wrestling in tights, like in just plain white tights, and
he smiles a lot. He smiles like all the other faces do.
And he does this cool leather jacket thing like he's the Fonz. Hey.
It just goes to show you. I don't know if you guys saw that news thing. Was it last week where they interviewed some woman who was a writer for WWE, and she basically said,
"Yeah," and they fired her right after that. They fired her right. Can someone cut together Finn Balor's music where it goes, and then when it shows him doing this thing, have it be like, hey, add in like the Fonz going, hey.
Man, oh man, oh shit.
You just gotta Photoshop his face on the Fonz as he's jumping the shark.
Oh my goodness gracious.
We have right now Eli Drake is up. I'm trying to see who he's wrestling because I did not.
Cameron Grimes, right? Are they doing that again?
Well, Cameron Grimes has been the only reason this feud has been any good. Mm-hmm. So far, the whole Eli Drake character, I could care less. He's not a good heel. Like whatever, I don't know how he was in was he TNA? Is that where he came from?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in Impact, and he was.
Was he heel in Impact?
I think so.
Because this heel character stinks.
Actually, I think he was a face in NWA Power. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
But yeah, it's him versus Cameron Grimes. Who is Cameron Grimes coming up too? I know it's Karrion Kross is coming up, and of course his wife or whatever she is, and then there's a fourth.
I don't know.
I know there's 4 of them coming up because Vince McMahon personally went down to the Performance Center.
Yeah, he's checking out. He's wanting us to redo that main Raw roster and get some more beef. We need some more beefy boys up in there.
Because we don't have enough guys sitting on the roster that don't wrestle or just run around after Tozawa on Monday night.
Oh, my God. I was so upset about that. To see poor Shelton Benjamin just chasing after the Tozawa.
Isn't he feuding with the guys in the ring? Isn't he feuding with the guy who's in the ring right now in the tag match?
With Cedric, yeah. It's insane. I had no idea what that match was about, why it existed, why the 24/7 title came back out of nowhere. It was all Raw was just a mess, all of it.
Yeah, I apologize to fans, but I actually needed the break. How many weeks we've been off?
Yeah,
because Raw has been so unbearable to watch.
Yeah,
and that's the other show I usually get to see on a regular basis. Dude, like I just couldn't sit through it. And then last night, they kind of looked like they were getting back on track last week. Really good, not a really good show, but better than what they have been doing. Mm-hmm. And then 3 roll-ups in one show. 3 roll-ups, a disqualification, 2 women smacking crutches together, and Alexa Bliss just disappears in the middle of a match. Like, I had no idea.
The count up from Ricochet really bothered me, with Miz just parking his wheelchair in front of him. Like, what? Who wrote that? Who wrote that finish? Somebody really needs to just go back into, like, the old school of WWE, like the 80s, 90s.
Recycle some good stuff.
Yeah, just come back.
Recycle some good stuff is all.
Just watch some old finishes, man. Back when people had finishing moves, remember that? Back when people just pinned people after a finishing move. When was the last time you saw that on WWE? It just doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't make sense to me. Like, they're trying to, like, help, like, people not, I don't know, like, not get over. I don't understand it. Like, oh, well, you pinned me, but it was like a little goofy little thing caught me off guard for 3 seconds. You still lost. Like, I don't understand how it's like anybody look
it's
strong.
like trying to protect somebody, but not. It's like they're not protected by not taking a finisher. They're actually less protected by getting pinned by something and losing to something that wasn't the best move.
Dude, that was a move reserved for when they had like cruiserweight or smaller guys wrestling big dudes.
Right. It's
and now
Goliath finish.
And now it's like literally 3, 4, 5 matches a week. I have to watch a roll up. That's why, dude, Hell in a Cell. I'm glad I was so busy at work. I didn't have to jump on me. I would have flipped something over at the end of that Hell in a Cell match when Bobby Lashley, he can't beat Drew McIntyre. You can't have him pin Drew McIntyre after distraction, after he grabbed his ankle. That's not allowed. It's just a roll up. Are you kidding me?
None of it made any sense.
I
try to get really. I try to stay really positive on this show, and just like, oh well, the WWE was going for this, and they were trying this, and it didn't work. But okay, well, let's move on to the next thing. At least just move on and not harp on stuff. But why, in the name of everything, is Drew McIntyre in the Money in the Bank match?
Right.
Because he lost at Hell in a Cell, which means he doesn't get a title shot as long as Lashley's champion. Then he was in a qualifying match for Money in the Bank, which he lost. Then he was in, no, this is your last chance to get into the Money Bank. And now he's in. Why does anyone care about McIntyre? He lost twice. And they just kept on giving him more and more title shots.
I'll tell you right now, when the live shows come up, do not be surprised he gets booed.
Not at all. Not at all. Especially if he keeps on cutting promos about carving a sword out of the Loch Ness Monster's face, or whatever the hell that crap promo was. What the hell was that? My grandmother decided to cut from a tooth of the Loch Ness Monster and pass it down to me and said, boy, go out there and beat Jinder Mahal. What the hell was that promo?
Meanwhile,
that was absolute garbage.
Meanwhile, apparently the Loch Ness Monster has metal teeth.
Hey, don't let the facts get in the way. A good story.
Oh, my God.
No,
Jinder Mahal riding in on a motorcycle.
I
hell?
use alternate ways of watching Raw, and they have commentary along the right. We won't talk about what channel I watch it on. And when he won again last week, you should have seen how angry the commentary was the entire time. They're like, really, dude, really? Because everybody wanted someone else. They either wanted some kind of weird story with Riddle winning and then possibly Randy Orton just walking into the Money in the Bank. And I thought he was going to win it, which he pretty much didn't even earn getting in there, which would have been kind of like a cool story in the end. Or maybe just put AJ in there and let him do double duty during that pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. Like, can I just see anybody but Drew McIntyre for freaking 5 minutes?
It feels ridiculously spoon-fed at this point and very forced.
This is what happened to Roman. This is what happened to John Cena. This is what happens to a lot of these guys. It's just like, hey, Riddle. No, here's Drew McIntyre. Hey, AJ. Drew McIntyre. They just do this over and over, just shove them in your face. It's like, I like Drew. He's a good wrestler. Yeah. Dude, I don't want to see him on TV for like a month. I can't deal with it anymore.
Yeah. It's just the booking too. Like, I wouldn't mind if he pulled a Cena and would just win all the time. Okay, fine, I can deal with that. We dealt with Cena, we dealt with Roman. But the fact that he keeps on getting title shots after losing again and again and again, if you're going to do it, at least have it make sense, man. Like, he hasn't won anything in order to be where he's at. It just kills me. It just absolutely kills me.
And then the crazy part about it is they'll show him standing in the ring how smug he is that he's getting another title shot. What makes you think people want to like that? Hey, I didn't earn this shot, but I'm going to be in there. That's heel stuff. Yeah. I don't understand what's going on where WWE does not understand what a heel is and what a face is anymore. Where the faces do more heel stuff than the actual heels do.
Well, he figures he's got the Sword of Omens. Then he's going to get over.
It gets him to sight beyond sight. So now he knows how to get over.
My grandmother killed a frost giant. What are you talking about? What are you, a Viking now? I don't know what's going on.
It would be cool if he stabbed the sword into the stage, and then the Viking raiders tripped over it or something. What is this? Someone just left a perfectly good sword here.
There is actual stupid rubber helmets too.
Yeah, gosh.
I've never seen a Viking helmet look like that before in my life.
Flavor Flav hats.
The Flavor Flav hats, yeah.
I would like them better. I would actually like them better. And if they carry big chalices with their names on front of them and all kinds of jewels, I would rather see that than what they're wearing right now.
They have a crunk. They'd be like, "Oh, we're crunk." They're like,
on the cup, yeah.
Crunk in the trunk. Have that be on the chalice. Bling bling.
Yeah.
Why not? And then you use the chalice to win matches. You just throw the chalice in the ring and just hit people with it.
There you go.
Hey, now you ain't got to freaking roll somebody up.
So yeah, that's Raw. That's what's going on Raw. But there is actual good.
Should we talk about the one positive on Raw?
Kofi? You're gonna have to remind me
right now.
Kofi? Oh hell yeah! I don't know if you saw it on Raw Talk with him and Xavier, just going off on Lashley. Raw Talk is great if you have the right person on it, because you can tell it's just them unscripted, and the New Day unscripted is always hilarious.
Not only that, props to Xavier for dropping Tyler Breeze's name in the promo.
Yes,
you're going to drop Tyler Breeze in the last couple of weeks, and he's so untouchable. He can still do a shout out to one of his best friends.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks that Breeze is gone. It sucks for Xavier Woods because that was half his channel was he's a member of the party.
That's his lead rival. He does left right.
Yeah.
The opposite of
up, down.
Yeah, left, right, or whatever it is. Left, right. I think it's left, right.
Left, right. Yeah.
Him and Adam Cole, and I forget who else are part of that crew.
Cesaro.
Is it Cesaro?
Yeah.
They just call him Tony on there all the time.
Tony, yeah. Big Swiss. That's Big Swiss right there. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's actually good in wrestling, and we talked a lot about what we don't like. But right now, I'm really looking forward to seeing what the Diamond Mine does on NXT after they debuted with the when they attacked Kushida. It looked really good. Who was it? Strong, Tyler Rust, and Suzuki with Malcolm Bivens.
Hold on,
as the manager. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yes. They're great. One more example for why factions aren't too much. I mean, AEW makes me go oh crap, too many factions. I'm tired of it. And the NXT does two really outstanding factions, and I'm like, gosh dang, all right, I don't hate factions as much as I thought I did.
But yeah.
You know what though, WWE, when they actually let the factions go, they do it right. I mean, how great it was Undisputed Era for 4 years. Tyler Rust and Hideki Suzuki, and then Malcolm Bivens is their mouthpiece.
Yeah,
Malcolm is fantastic. He kind of got the raw deal in a tag team where half of it's with Jinder Mahal now, kind of just disappeared off the face of the earth. And he had that other kid who just got hurt, the tall kid with long hair, who's now part of the Diamond Mine now, right? Is that him? Tyler Rust.
Tyler Rust.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it looks pretty solid, and I'm into it. Oh, he's gone.
Can we talk about another like breaking news thing that happened today that it's something to talk about? Jimmy Uso getting another DUI.
What? I didn't hear about this.
Yeah. So what is this? The third one?
Something like that. Yeah. Gosh
So
dang.
that might be the end of whatever this push is for him.
Just get help, Jimmy. That's all I can say. Like, don't, you know, everybody has their vices and all that. You just got to get help, brother. It's bad.
It's problematic at this point. Like it needs to be addressed by him to himself. Like, why is he costing himself? He's self-sabotaging really hard.
So what's going on with Jay? Is Jay hurt, and that's why they moved Jimmy into the spot where Jimmy is, or is this like some kind of storyline where Jimmy?
Don't know the story arch of it. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
But now everything's trashed because you know, like, you can't put the drink down. And, you know, like, I'm no angel, especially when it comes to drinking. So I'm actually 30 days sober because I found out I'm allergic to alcohol. But
Whoa.
yeah.
I don't know about that.
Well,
Yeah,
he breaks out lumps and handcuffs is what he's saying.
I'm allergic to either alcohol or the barrels that they're aged in. So I have to get an allergy test, but I've been drinking 30 days to clean out my system before I even go get an allergy test on.
Damn. That sucks for a bartender.
Yeah.
Man, that sucks. And then Jimmy too, man. Like, yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with the whole Reign storyline now, with the whole head of the table business. If Jay's hurt and Jimmy's in rehab or on suspension or what's going on,
They can just move into him versus Edge for now, and put whatever you're going to do with Jey Uso on the back burner until he comes back. You know,
yeah.
and then, you know, there's always a way, and, you know, Heyman's got his hands all over that storyline. So that guy, if anybody can dig them out of a hole, it'll be Heyman. So
Yeah.
I mean, Raymond's, you know, nothing's going to hurt Roman or
I was like, who's Raymond? Who's Raymond? Everybody loves him. What's the big deal? Who is this guy?
Do I give out the winners while this is going on, or what?
Yeah, why
Yeah,
not?
sure. Go ahead.
Eli Drake just won.
Eli Drake won. Now we have a butler, a Cameron Grimes butler.
Cameron Grimes is now the butler. I knew as soon as I heard that stipulation that Cameron Grimes was losing.
Yeah. Well, there was no other stipulation. There wasn't like, I mean, I guess the title was on the line, but still, it's like you don't throw out a stipulation like that unless that's happening. It's like hair versus, you know, mask or something like that. It's like, all right, the mask is too important. Somebody's getting their head shaved. You know. Yeah, man, that sucks about Jimmy. What doesn't suck, again, going back to NXT, is the Breakout Tournament starts next week.
I'm excited for this.
I'm very excited for this. We already had a couple people qualify for it. They qualified on 205 Live, so nobody saw it. But it was Andre Chase defeated Guru Raj. If you've never heard of them, neither have I. So Andre Chase is going forward, and Corey, our buddy Joe Gacy, beat Desmond Troy, so he's going to be in the tournament.
Former guest on the show. Joe Gacy's been on the show like twice.
That's what I've been told.
And you'll never be allowed to interview him again because now he's WWE property.
WWE now, he's off limits. It doesn't matter what our history is or anything like that.
If you guys go communicate with him, just see what they probably have like a list of questions that we can ask him, and that's it. And we could probably still bring him on. And then just add him a little bit.
Here's the thing. Once a friend gets a job in a place where they're on TV, they no longer answer the phone calls or text messages. That's absolutely the case.
I don't need your small show to promote myself.
I don't need to help out people who helped me get here. Screw that. No, the one response I got from Jessica Carr, the referee on SmackDown, when she got called up, the one response I got was like everything has to go through. It's like PR. and like they have to do the approval. It doesn't matter how well you know them; they could be your mother-in-law.
I think we do. We would just have to wipe every episode with Matt off.
Just gotta wipe that down, man. It's like no. We're cool. We love WWE. What are you talking about?
And they're like, we listened back to it, and this guy said it's unbelievable that a woman would win a fight. We don't like that.
No woman can beat me in a fight. I'm a man. I'm Matt Flowers. Yeah, but congratulations to Joe Gacy. I'm looking forward to this. I don't know when this starts. Like I know it starts next week, but I don't know how long this goes for. I'm not a big fan of tournaments on television that pan several weeks. I really like a one-night tournament. They haven't done that in a very long time.
I don't know why they don't. I don't know why they don't just do like a one-night thing and just let us watch like something different than the same WWE pay-per-view over and over again. Why can't we just watch, like, put the tournament as one shot and let us watch it? Mm-hmm. I would do it. I mean, I would definitely watch it. It's better than, seeing, I don't know, Elias wrestle Jackson Riker or something like that for like the 75th time.
Yeah. I mean, I used to love like the King of the Ring tournament when that would all happen. You get the storyline was always like it happened a couple of times where there's a little like an underdog face in the first round that gets injured, and then he fights his way up and goes to the second round and the third round, and he's limping around. They play the music a little extra longer before he hits the entranceway, and then he hits it. It's like, oh my God, he's actually gonna do it, folks. He's actually walking to the ring. It's stuff like that. You don't get that if you have a tournament that spans several weeks because you have several weeks to recover and it doesn't have the same impact. So I don't know. It's stuff like that. I like somebody, an underdog story.
Yeah. It ramps the sell up for the second round.
I think they're about to show your boy Joe Gacy now. They're showing everybody from the NXT Breakout. They're showing the wrestlers.
Oh, it's all of them. They've all
Carmelo Hayes.
Okay.
5'10", 195. Let's see, they're trying to do like a mini impression on you as soon as it.
Yeah. It's like what they do with the
Andre Chase, 6'2", 222.
Yeah, we're just talking about him.
He has a really bad haircut. Mm-hmm. Josh Briggs, he sounds familiar.
I don't know the man.
6 feet tall, 290. Or is that 6'8"? It might be 6'8". Jesus.
Jeez.
Ikemen Jiro from Tokyo, Japan. I don't know who he is, and I know most of the guys usually come overseas.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with the breakout tournament they did in 2019. We didn't know half those guys. Now it's Swerve Scott, Bronson Reed. Yeah, my boy Joe Gacy. Hey, Joe Gacy, that man can dance and he can drink.
Odyssey Jones. He looks really familiar. 6'5", 405 pounds. Jesus.
405, damn.
He's huge. And Duke Hudson. What? It's like a porn name.
It definitely sounds like a 70s porno actor's name.
Yeah. I am Duke Hudson. I brought your pizza. Extra sausage. Yeah, man. So the newcomers, that's starting next week, man. I'm looking forward to it.
So what are you going to do, like 2 matches a week or something like that? Is that how you're going to do it?
That's usually how they do it, 2 or 3 matches a week. Just keep updating us with the brackets.
Here's two matches that weren't on television, but you're supposed to pay attention to the tournament. What?
Well, that's like AEW dark moves.
All right, first round will be Jiro. I'm not going to try saying his first name again, versus Duke Hudson. Mm-hmm. And it's like a long-haired Japanese guy and a porn star, so this should be interesting. Is that the first match? Is that it? Is there a second match? Nope, that's all they advertised. All right. Adam Cole's now taping his wrists.
All right. Adam Cole. Who's he working? Let me see if I have that written down somewhere.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Of course, it's Kyle O'Reilly. Of course, it is. It's always Kyle O'Reilly. Mm-hmm. Moving away from NXT a little bit, we do have Money in the Bank coming up in, 2 weeks? Less than 2 weeks now? We talked about McIntyre being in it, but we have a lot of people in it that I actually want to see. I want to see Ricochet. Let's see, we got Big E. Riddle's in it. Kevin Owens is in it. It's either going to be Cesaro or Rollins because they have a match on SmackDown, and then Corbin and Nakamura also have a match on SmackDown. That's happening.
I love
the new Corbin
so much.
The new Baron Corbin thing going on is fantastic.
We were just talking about that yesterday. Like Rick and I talking about like the poor Baron Corbin, how they repossessed his car and stuff.
Dude, him just lying on the mat all disheveled, watching him like repo his car.
What's the point?
Dude, this could go somewhere, and he's a dude that I think can pull it off. Like,
Get that sympathy.
he's really good at looking just despondent the whole time he's walking around. So it's like really well done. We have the tag team matches coming up now. We have Io Shirai and Zoe Stark in the ring right now versus The Way.
I've been wanting to see that. Zoe Stark. We'll get to it when Who Wins Wrestling comes around.
I almost picked Dakota Kai for Who Wins Wrestling because Zoe Stark did this beautiful high cross body and missed Dakota Kai completely, knocked all the girls over, and Dakota just went like this. It jumped in the air. He laughed so hard. Went right over her head. She just looked back as everybody's on the ground and just threw herself in the air.
Oh my goodness! But your boy, the America's Most Wanted, and he's also in the
one of the greatest lines ever.
He was throwing that word "moist" around a lot, man.
Johnny Drip
Drip. Dear God, it was getting a little. It was getting a little gross.
How beautiful was that spot last week with Ricochet doing the crossbody and then going right over the railing. Dude, that guy, he can just take that guy can take flight, man.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy that he was, this time last year he was off TV for 8 months, something like that, just sitting backstage. The guy is incredibly talented. People give credit to Lucha House Parties on TV, and Rey Mysterio is great. He's absolutely fantastic, but you want people popping. Ricochet's the guy to do it. Ricochet's that guy. Stop doing dives if you don't want a guy like Ricochet. You know what I mean?
And to get back what you were saying, you went through that whole entire Money in the Bank tournament, and it's all interesting people. It's like, you got Big E, and you got Ricochet, and you got John Morrison, and all these people that can really do insane stuff off ladders. And then there's Drew McIntyre.
For no reason.
He's just gonna run around with a sword and stab everybody in the ring.
He's gonna break one of the ladders with his sword. I'm gonna call it now. That's what's happening. He's breaking a ladder with his sword.
It very well could be. I wouldn't put it past him. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that this leads to some kind of interference from what's his face, from Jinder Mahal.
You know how bad it is that we want Jinder Mahal to actually do something,
right?
Please save me, Jinder Mahal.
Save me.
It would be funny if they did a whole reference to the 3-man band thing with.
Oh yeah, they were doing it last night.
Drew was doing all the guitar moves. And,
I missed that.
Mm-hmm. It was good. It was a match. It unfortunately, ended crappily. Just a disqualification out of nowhere for no reason. But if this leads to a distraction, whatever the hell, at Money in the Bank, and then that leads to Drew versus Jinder at SummerSlam, that'd be a decent match. I'd like to actually see that. It's a good feud just on paper. Just like, hey, we were both in the same faction. We both got fired. We both came back, and we were both WWE champion. Why are you getting all this credit and I'm not getting anything? Like that whole thing. It writes itself pretty much.
Well, not only that, give the title picture time to breathe. Mm-hmm. Let's watch Kofi and Yeah, Bobby Lashley actually do a program. Why does Drew McIntyre have to loom over top of the world title picture? Like, it's like, oh, Bobby Lashley and, Kofi are going to wrestle, but it's like, oh, but Drew McIntyre might win the Money in the Bank, and then he's right back in it. It's like, I don't want to – dude, just take him out of the picture. Take him out. Give it time to breathe. Give it some space.
Take him out of the whole picture. The McIntyre take him all the way out of – Can we make that like a verb?
There was something there. McIntyre.
McIntyre forced down your throat like that sword into the stage.
I'll take it, McIntyre. But also on the card, you got Lashley versus Kofi Kingston, which is going to be good. Mm-hmm. Reigns versus Edge, which is going to be good. Bianca Belair and Bayley are going again. This is an I Quit match. I don't understand how you don't have the Hell in a Cell match as your blow-off match, but they're going again, and they always have a good match, so I'm for it. And then we have, of course, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, which I am not looking forward to at all, because I don't understand what the hell the storyline is.
No one. They dropped the ball with Rhea Ripley at the last WrestleMania. And then trying to shoehorn her back in, and for some reason they thought people would care. And then they're doing this whole gimmick like, oh, I can be just as dastardly as you are, but then I have no idea who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, because they both annoy the hell out of me. It's just not an enjoyable program.
It's like watching two people go, I'm so good. No, I'm good. Oh, I'm good. Like, stop talking about how good you are and just do things like that we want to see.
What are you talking about? Their fake Star Wars fight with the crutches? You didn't like that one? like 2 8-year-olds with lightsabers?
Awful. It's like take two people who don't know how to sword fight and give them crutches and tell them to go out there and sword fight. It was like exactly what you said. It was two kids with Star Wars lightsabers, with toys.
Yeah,
trying to play. It was not good. But the women's Money in the Bank match should be good. We still have 2 more people to be announced. But we got Asuka, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Carmella, and Selena Vega out of nowhere came back. How about that? Mm-hmm. But she's in it. Yeah, it's most likely going to be Liv Morgan in there, and then one more person.
I'm hoping it's Piper Niven.
Piper Niven.
Dewdrop, they want to call her.
Dewdrop. It's insane how talented Piper Niven is, and they give her a name like Dewdrop.
How many years ago was I flipping out about Nia Jax, and I said you had the real monster in Piper Niven sitting right there, like a bigger woman. She can work. She does like insane, like freaking. She does a beautiful Michinoku driver. And then you just went with The Rock's cousin.
Yeah. It's the only reason she's there. She's part of the family. It's the only reason she's there. I've been saying it for years. But go back and watch the Mae Young Classic if that's on Peacock still. If you can find it somewhere, go back and watch Piper Niven in the Mae Young Classic. She's amazing. Or if you can find her stuff on NXT UK, if anybody watches that show,
or on YouTube.
Might be the easier way to go about it. Just type in Piper Niven on YouTube. Don't listen to me.
No one watches NXT UK.
I know. Nobody watches it. I know. I wish they did. I feel bad. I'm maybe in the UK. They watch.
Can you just take Tyler Bate from NXT UK and fire the rest of them and bring him in NXT? Can you fire the rest of the Potbelly squad and just bring Tyler Bate and Dragunov to NXT?
Is there could there be a faction called the Potbelly Squad? We need to make fun. we need a Potbelly Squad in wrestling, like Potbelly Squad goals.
Oh yeah. Well, with that note, I think it's about time we take a shiny little spotlight and we shine it on somebody, and let's whatever.
Don't get behind the car later, Rick.
It's been too long since you've done that. Shiny and little spotty shiny.
Rick better not drive tonight.
I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Whatever. This segment calls Who Wins Wrestling. Who wins wrestling? Blah, 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 blah. All right, what do you guys got, man? What do you got for Who Wins Wrestling?
Who goes first? I'll go first. I'm going with Swerve. I'm going with Swerve Scott. Like
Swerve.
I said, I really like this hit row. When it first hit, the first couple of vignettes, I thought they were kind of corny, and now they're like coming into their own. And I just think Swerve Scott there's something about him. I like the way he carries himself. I like how he's kind of like soft spoken. He doesn't do a lot of yelling. He just says what he's going to do and does it. If it was last week, I would have picked Jungle Boy, but I'm going to go with Swerve Scott.
Yeah, definitely, man. He's a guy that gets it done. He's like you said. There's not a lot of trash talking going on, but there's a lot of in-ring work. We knew him on the I knew him on the Indies. Corey, did you know him? What was his name? I forget what his name was on the Indies. I know I got a couple matches on.
Shane Strickland was his name on the Indies.
Shane Strickland, yeah, that's what it was.
I was on a couple of shows with him, but
wow, that's even worse than Swerve Scott.
never talked to never had a conversation with him or anything. I don't think.
How many times have you ever seen that where a wrestler like had a worse name in the independents than he did?
I think they call him Swerve on the Indies as well, didn't they?
Yeah. Rex and Jax was a really good one.
Jax.
on the Indies, he was called something spectacular. I don't remember what it was though.
That's your job, Rick. You got to do the research. Find all the wrestlers that had terrible names in the independents.
I'll look it up. I'll start looking them up.
Let's go. My pick for Who Wins Wrestling is somebody who had an awful name on the Indies of Sexton Hardcastle. He now goes by Edge. Adam Copeland as Edge. But seriously, that was like such a great promo. And so real and so
he
raw,
looks great too.
And the little bit of more growth on the beard. It looks like he's a little more angry. He's a little more like focused on getting it. And like even I said yesterday to you, Rick, about how like he's probably going to get the Universal title, and you were like, I don't think they're going to give it to him at Money in the Bank, like right before SummerSlam. I don't think it'll happen. But that kind of got me doubting it. But I felt like when I was watching that promo, I was like, yep, he's getting it because he's Edge.
I honestly think he's going to get it at SummerSlam. I think, but we'll see. I mean, they still keep talking about Cena coming in, so I have no idea what's going to go on with that. But Edge looks fantastic, man. He looks in even better shape than he was 6 months ago. Like this guy's really trying to prove that he's still one of the best, and I really respect it.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard not to respect Edge.
Sometimes you think you know him. Sometimes you don't. Go ahead, Rick. Your choice.
That should be the new theme song. Sometimes you think you know me. Sometimes you don't. My pick for Who Wins Wrestling is Zoe Stark, the girl wrestling right now with Io Shirai. It's insane how like this girl kind of got overlooked for a long time, was having really good matches, and her match that she had got the triple threat match she had on NXT. We were just talking about it earlier, the big dive she did where she missed who was it, Candice LeRae completely,
Dakota Kai,
she missed her completely, but still like that dive looked sick. Like it was a sick looking dive.
She looked like floating in air
down. Yeah, she just it looked like she just came straight down, and it was brutal looking. And she did some kind of version of the GTS where she kind of like spun her around first and then hit it, and it was brutal looking. It was absolutely brutal.
Can we talk about AJ modifying like a DVD and it's almost like an angle slam? And how awesome that move looks.
Yeah, it's damn good.
It looks like an angle slam, but he's actually moving in like a DVD, almost like Burning Hammer.
Yeah,
type move. It's really cool, man. I'm glad some of these dudes still update their arsenal when they're wrestling instead of doing the same moves over and over again. No, Zoe's pretty. What?
Uh-oh.
Do I tell you guys what just happened?
Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah,
Tegan Knox just showed up.
Oh dang! Where's she been? She's been injured for a while, right?
She had like 75 surgeries on her knees.
Yeah.
She's like almost as bad as freaking.
I heard she worked a dark match on Raw this past week.
Oh yeah, a lot of people were working those dark matches.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of NXT guys doing dark matches on Raw.
Oh, that's the GTS move you're talking about. That is sick, dude.
Yeah, it's almost like I don't even know what to call it. It's like a reverse suplex into the GTS.
I would call it a windmill GTS.
Windmill GTS?
Just flips the person completely over into it.
Yeah,
but
that's crazy. What's Tegan Knox doing?
Going after Candice LeRae, which is going to be another weird one. How do you have Johnny basically be a face and his wife is a heel?
As a heel,
and they're still away. And then Zoe and Io Shirai just won the titles.
Ah, well, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, she wins wrestling, doesn't she?
Breaks.
That was a great pick. That was the quickest a pick of who wins wrestling has ever paid off on this entire show. Zoe Stark wins wrestling. She just won the tag team championship 5 seconds later. So there you go.
Instant results.
Instant results. Yes.
It's like you pour the sugar right into the tea. There it is. You got it.
There it all is. Do we end this show on a sad note? Because we had a death this week.
Okay.
Couple sad notes.
What's that?
Couple sad notes. Terry Funk is in really bad shape.
No, he's not. No, he's not. That was all debunked. It was what I heard this morning was that Don Morocco said it on his podcast, his magnificent podcast. And then I saw
didn't know Don Morocco had one.
Right. And then Tommy Dreamer was like, he was like, "Oh, I just got off the phone with him. He's fine. He's living in an assisted living home, but he's not doing bad. He's fine."
So he's so that's debunked?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not doing as bad as he thought. So in your attempt to turn sad news into more sad news, we turned sad news into just news.
It was a hell of a roller coaster ride for me because I didn't know any of it. I was like, Terry Funk's not doing good. Oh, he is? Okay.
He's fine.
He's fine.
Like that Rick and Morty scene when he was like, when like Unity blew up that town, and he was like, all the people were like, "No, we're over here. We're fine."
He's fine.
Get well, Terry.
Yeah, get well. Apparently, and good job doing it, sir. But we did have a wrestler pass away, Del Wilkes, the Patriot. He's unfortunately passed away, age 59, due to a heart attack.
That's young.
It's pretty young.
It's very interesting if you, I don't know if any of you guys, I know Matt was a big fan of it, Corny's Drive-Thru, Jim Cornette's, he talked about the Patriot and the 90s and how basically Vince Russo dropped the ball with the guy. And it's definitely one of those wrestlers I always wondered what happened to him because, the mask with the build and how big he was. He had superstar written all over him.
He just was injury prone, and it kind of cursed him to not be able. Like he was like too injured. Like Tom Brady talked about it when we had him on Wrestle Rock, where he said like he was almost like too injured for that last run, but he wanted to do it because it was hot at the moment for him to be able to do it. So that may be why his longevity wasn't quite there.
Well, I mean, he got it done. Like he got to wrestle Bret Hart in the main event of WWF pay-per-view. So like that's pretty huge. Mm-hmm. So he at least has that, and he was in WCW before that, winning the tag titles with. Was that Marcus Bagwell? No, who was it?
It was Marcus Bagwell, and then it was someone else.
Stars and Stripes.
Yeah, it was Stars and Stripes, man.
Stars and Stripes. Yeah, won the tag team title. So I mean, the guy had a great career, and he did a lot in All Japan as well.
Rock, flag, and eagle.
I just thought he was one of those wrestlers that like kind of like somehow dropped the ball on. I think he could have been way more famous than he was.
Oh yeah.
It's not being in the right place at the right time, being born in the wrong generation, all those things factor up into you didn't make it and you should have soup.
I know. Imagine if he was born maybe 5-10 years. I mean, like came up 5-10 years earlier with that gimmick. Like the 80s with have him just beating up Russians and other people in the ring. He would have been massive. He would have been massive, especially with that build he had on him. And one of the coolest luchador masks ever.
Yeah. Had a great gimmick. Like you said, it should have been in the 80s. He could have he could have been huge. So definitely will be missed. Died way too young. Got retired way too young. So it's sad news, but that's professional wrestling. It's just a world of sad news. And on that note, I think we got to get going. That'll be it for
this Sad News Bears episode.
Sad News Bears. Corey, you got anything to plug?
Check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Cory Castle. All one word. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok at Cory Castle, CoryKastle. And also make sure you hit subscribe on all the Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You're following Evolving with Cory Castle. New episodes drop every Monday at noon Eastern. And if you check my YouTube channel, you can get them early. So
very good.
There's up to 247 episodes now on my YouTube channel. But I think the ones that are posting on Spotify and Apple are like up to 230 something. So I'm quite a bit ahead.
Quite a bit ahead on YouTube. Mark, what do you got, man?
I have something to say. For all you nerds who wanted the greatest wrestling commentator of all time fired last week for saying WWE Dynamite, I will fight every one of you in line, and half of you will probably die of heart attacks before you even get to me. Fat nerds. JR is the greatest commentator of all time. Shut your mouths. Shut your mouths. AEW nerds.
Well, like they have such a diehard fan base because it's like they've already bitten the bait so hard that they got to double down on their fandom to justify every poor decision, booking wise, or every botch. So AEW botches is one of my favorite follows on Twitter, and they got shut down last week for copyright stuff against them from AEW. It's like we promised you this sports-based, not take ourselves too seriously thing, and then we take ourselves seriously enough that if you're exposing our botches, we're going to get you shut down. And it's like, you're not as inclusive as you said you were going to be.
I see as this. I know I have nothing against the organization. Like I just said, Jungle Boy would have been my winner if it was last week. Last week, because that kid is knocking on the door to be a megastar in AEW. I hate your fans. And anybody hates on my man JR, read his books. The guy is amazing, and you kids suck. And you think Excalibur is going to take his place? Are you kidding me? Who? Big Show? Shut up.
He's Excalibur's a skinny patriot. So
they brought
a white guy in a lucha mask.
They brought on two former WCW commentators from the early 90s to make your show even listenable to, and you're going to trying to get one of them fired. You guys are insane. Shut up. That and go away, Drew McIntyre.
Your set of balls wouldn't fit into a little thimble.
Well, on that note, please check out tinyurl.com/YouTube Rick Connor. Please like and subscribe on all the videos. That's my YouTube channel, so you see a whole bunch of indie wrestling. We were talking about Swerve. We're talking about Shane Strickland.
Shane Strickland. What's
They're about to come out now.
Is it really? Isaiah
Yeah, bro, coming out now.
Oh, damn.
The one dude's playing DJ.
You can see Swerve take on guys like Eric Chappell and others on my YouTube channel, so you can check that out. There's a whole bunch of stars on there. Check out Adam Cole. Check out Who else I got on there? Yeah, check out Corey Castle. Corey Castle just posted a video the other day of him defending the No Limits title in a hardcore match. So check that out. Check out all that.
Dude. So the girl of Hit Row is actually performing right now.
Oh, really?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Neat.
Performing musically or wrestling?
Musically.
Okay.
No, she's doing stand-up comedy. She's like, what's the deal with the shutdown?
Just doing stand-up comedy in front of
In front of
the Thunderdome.
No, well, they have a live audience back there.
I know. I forgot halfway through that joke. I forgot.
Oh, airplane food. Am I right?
What's going on with those crazy peanuts? And that they get.
What are the hits?
Right.
What are the hits, and why are we rowing them? row your
Out of
hits.
here. Let's get the hell out of here. Jesus Christ. Thank you very much for joining us. We're back. We're finally doing shows again. Thank you for joining us for Wrestle Rock. We will see you guys next week. I'm Rick Connor.
Mark Albucker.
Corey Castle.
And until next week, let's take it out like we always do with Mr. Nick Burke.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Join us again for another episode of Wrestle Rock. This has been Jay Davis speaking.